It happened again, didn't it? You missed the decision step. And now you're calling me saying, oh my God, I had the greatest sales call. I had great rapport with those guys. We had a real good bond. I prepared for the call. I found great pain. I found problems and they turned into, we found the consequences of those problems. And then I found the impacts to that person on those problems. Walker, I mean, it was beautiful. And then I went through and I found out their budget. I knew how much they could spend. We were right in a place where we could make a deal. And I asked him who the decision maker was. And of course he said he was. And so then I knew it was good. And so I took the proposal with all my information and I sent it off. And I called to follow up. And you know what he said? Walker, he said he needed to check with his partner. And then it might be the end of the year or first quarter next year before they make a decision. What did I do? What do I do now is what you're asking. Well, right now you just drove the car off the cliff and you're calling me for flying lessons. Can't help you with that. Let's talk about what you do next time. Next time, go to that meeting. Go find out if your prospect has pain. Go see if there's a gap between where they are and where they want to be. Find out what their budget is to fix it, what they're ready, willing, and able to spend, right, to make that problem, that pain go away. But then, before you send your proposal, you have to know all the questions of the decision step first, and then you have to ask them and you need to get answers. Here are the questions to the decision step. Number one, when were you hoping to make a decision? Why is this important? Because if it's 6 months from now or a year from now or whatever, and it doesn't match your time frame, no reason to give a proposal, right? What we're trying to do is see if these people are qualified to receive your information now. If they're not making a decision for 6 months or 2 months, probably nothing good will happen if you share it too early. Second question you need to ask is, why then? Why do you need to have it fixed then? Why do you need to make a decision then? What's going on that makes that the timeline? Because you may be able to find some additional pain there. Maybe they say, because if we don't have it fixed by this point, then we're going to have a real problem. Or our warehouse opens by then. Or we need to be started on this so we can be finished by this date. Or we've got a deadline for this, so therefore we got to do this now. So, first question, when were you hoping to have this fixed? When were you hoping to make this decision, right? When? The second one is why then? What's the reason behind your when? Let's figure that out, right? Question number 3, who else besides you needs to be part of this process? Who else besides you? This is the question we ask our prospects. So not, are you the decision maker? Because the CEO may be the damn decision maker. He can make any damn decision he wants, but he may want to have the plant manager and the CFO involved. He may want to have his partner involved. Maybe he wants to bring some other people in from that user group who'd be part of this. We need to know that. Who else besides you needs to be a part of this? Part of that question is helping the guy you're talking to figure this out. Help him think through who else besides you needs to be a part of this. If he says, well, I've got to get the board's approval, here's what I would suggest. Say, can I make a suggestion? Why don't we have the board member that you have the best rapport with, the one you talk to on a regular basis, bring them into this meeting? Because if they're not excited about it too, chances are I'm wasting your time, right? Help them make the decision. Help them figure it out. When were you hoping to make a decision? Why then? Who else besides you needs to be a part of this? Question number 4. What will you need to see or hear from me to be able to make a decision? This is a funny one too. Some of us need a lot of information to make a decision. You as a salesperson, you may need tons and tons of information. You with engineering type brains, you may need a lot of information. Therefore, you will believe that other people need that much information too. Then there are others of us like me, I only need a tiny bit of information to make a decision. Don't overwhelm me, right? Give the prospect only as much information as they need to make a decision. Just because you know 600 pages worth doesn't mean you need to share 600 pages worth. Sometimes they just need a 1-pager. Sometimes they might just need 3 to 5 pages. Sometimes maybe they just need these 3 things answered. What do you need to see or hear from me to be able to make a decision? Next question is, who else are you talking to? I mean, when do you want to know if you have competition, right? When do you want to know? I want to know who else you're talking to, because this can make a difference in how you handle things. You may want to know, is the person that's currently serving them, are they going to be part of this process? Or is it somebody else they've picked at random, right? Or did they pick you at random? Who else besides us are you talking to? Great question to know. Don't guess. Ask so you can know the real answer. And the last question, right, is how are you going to pick? How are you going to pick? What are your criteria for who the winner is going to be? What is your criteria for who the winner is going to be? Because here's the thing, right? I want you to understand, and you may get some kind of bullshit answer like, well, we're going to pick best value for sure. Well, what does that mean? Who knows what the hell that means? Best value? So here's what I want you to question. So when you say best value, what does that mean to you? How will you pick best value? These questions need to come from a place of sincere curiosity. You need to know the answers to every single one of these before you share your information, because once it's out of your hands, you've lost all your leverage. Here are your 5 questions one more time. When were you hoping to make a decision? Why then? Who else besides you needs to be a part of this decision-making process? What will you guys need to see or hear from me to be able to make a decision? Who else are you talking to? Who are my competitors? And the last one, how are you going to pick? And then make sure that that's defined clearly how they're going to pick. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. Ask and get answers to all these questions before you send your information out.